Bonjour, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Afternoon Macaroon. This week, we're going to be diving deep into a beautiful Italian classic. Last week, we did pasta, and this week, we're going to be making a little morning snack. One of my absolute favorite things to make, a huge showstopper. Anytime I bring this out, it's always kind of that shock and awe, like, oh, how is this done? It's also one of those things that is sold a lot of places and is really, really bad most places. And I'm, of course, talking about biscotti. You've probably seen them in wrappers at Starbucks. And if you've ever bought one before, it can taste kind of like cardboard. Not these. This beautiful recipe I have honed with my mother over probably 20 years or so. How old am I? Yeah, I'm about 20. We'll say that. This one is a beautiful gift to give people, homemade biscotti. It's not something that is normally made and given, so it has that kind of unique quality to it, which can make gift giving and sharing really, really fun, or just indulging yourself and having a beautiful morning treat to make your coffee taste a little bit sweeter. Now, this is a little bit more labor intensive than some of the other cookie recipes, but it is worth it in the end. The beauty of dark chocolate, almond, espresso, biscotti. I mean, just those three words. Amazing. So let's get to cooking.
So we'll start the recipe off with 2¼ cups of flour, a cup of sugar, a ½ cup of almonds, some salt, 2 instant coffee, some dark chocolate, baking soda, vanilla extract, almond extract, 3 eggs, and of course some butter. We're going to start by preparing our egg mixture. So we're going to beat our eggs with the almond extract and with the vanilla extract. So we'll add both of those in, a teaspoon of both, and just increase our speed of our stand mixer with our eggs until it gets nice and pale and incorporated. We'll add our butter in that mixture as well. You can see some of those chunks in there. It doesn't need to be melted. And while that is mixing, we will prepare our dry ingredients. So we'll add our flour, our almonds, our coffee, our salt, and our baking soda to a food processor. Now, looking at this, I probably should have pulled out my heavy duty one, but I was trying to just get away with using my small countertop one, which actually did work. And then of course we'll mix our dry ingredients with our wet ingredients. We're going to slowly add the flour into that egg mixture, that egg butter and extract mixture, in about thirds. So we'll do 1/3 of the flour, let that incorporate, and then add the other 2/3. The batter is going to be very wet at this point, and you're going to want to sprinkle a large amount of flour, probably 1/4 cup of flour, on a cutting board, and that's when we'll start to shape our biscotti loaves. The first thing we want to do is roll around that wet dough, incorporating as much flour as we need to really have it release from your hands without being sticky. So we'll just keep folding it in on itself until we reach that desired consistency. Then we will cut this into 2 loaves and shape them into logs. And this is going to be the start of your biscotti. So you want the logs to really be as wide as you want your biscotti to be. So those are my 2 right there, and we'll put those into the oven. They'll bake for about 40 to 50 minutes on 300 degrees. And then we're going to take them out of the oven. We'll let them cool slightly just so that they're easier to handle. And then we're going to start cutting these logs into our biscotti. And then you're going to want to face those straight up on your mat and put that back into the oven for another 40 to 50 minutes. And we're going to turn that once during the cooking process, about halfway through, so about the 20 to 25 minute mark. While that's baking, we're going to prepare our topping, which in this case is that beautiful dark chocolate. So we'll go ahead and snap our squares into smaller pieces and put it in a microwave safe bowl and melt that beautiful chocolate. Once the biscotti have come out of the oven from their second baking, we'll go ahead and dip the tops of them once they've had a chance to cool into this dark chocolate, and that is what will create that beautiful topping there. Now, if you would like, you can definitely add some crushed nuts on top, or at Christmas time, we like to add some peppermint onto the top.
Now comes our absolute favorite part, the taste test. I like to dip mine in coffee, and we've baked them a lot so that you can do that. But my husband likes to eat them crispy, as he calls it, but to each their own. Mm. 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 It reminds me of that line from Practical Magic that Stockard Channing says, "In this house, we eat chocolate cake for breakfast. In this house, we eat homemade biscotti for breakfast." Well, that is it for this week's episode of the Afternoon Macaroon. Please like and subscribe. We post new videos every week to feed our body and videos every week to feed our souls. Until next time, laissez le bon temps rouler, and everybody